VoyMonk vlog number 70. You know, the thing I've kind of noticed over the last few weeks, when it comes to the shows that I watch, sometimes some of the shows I watch, I don't do a lot of reality TV shows. Mostly not just because they're not real, like many things that are on TV or streaming or for entertainment. It just, I don't know. I'm not really very much into drama, especially manufactured drama that's usually thought up by some producers that, I know some people think it's about an agenda, I think, but I feel most of the time it's really not. I think it's just about selling you stuff one way or another whether it idea, whatever, but nonetheless, not getting to any diatribes about that. But some of the shows I've been kind of getting into, at least as far as kind of reality based, or more like the game shows. And I gotta say, one of the trends that I'm kind of noticing with game shows, and maybe it's just me, maybe I'm wrong, The Wall being one of them, The Chase, Deal or No Deal, which is now Deal or No Deal Island or something. And I watched a bit of it, and it's pretty good. I actually like Deal or No Deal Island to a degree. I kind of like the old format, where it was just about the cases, but I don't know. I guess you can only do so many years of that before it really just kind of falls off. And that's kind of funny about game shows and stuff, is that usually they have a lifetime of about maybe 4 to 5 years. And then if they don't switch it up enough to maybe keep it interesting so people can't predict, or it's not as predictable and whatnot, then usually, I think the budgets get a little bit smaller. They maybe replace a host or two that's a little too expensive to keep on, something like that. But Deal or No Deal Island. That's the show I've been watching. And The Traders, which is really all about the things that I really kind of don't like about reality TV shows. But in the game show format, I don't know. I kind of find it interesting. I even watched Big Brother again this year, or last year rather, after not watching it for a number of years. And I'm not exactly sure why I do, because at least the pitfall for me is if you get into some of these like more reality shows, that kind of thing, I kind of find myself at a point somewhere along the lines where I don't want to root for anybody. Like, I don't really care who wins, because, maybe I've kind of reached my wit's ends as far as with any of them. But the thing that I mostly was meaning to talk about, at least in this vlog, was that one of the trends that I've kind of noticed that really I don't get it. And don't get me wrong, I think it's great when shows like to have a theme, or they want to reward, first responders or people that served in the military, or they want to give some unfortunate soul a way of being able to make some money, like The Wall or something like that. That's all great. Of course, the flip side of that is ultimately, like on The Wall, which is so depressing when you get someone who's like a firefighter that saved kittens out of a burning building. And, for whatever reason, because it's a game show, they end up with nothing at the end. And it's just like, I mean, there's only so many ways and so many times that you can do that, where it's just like, I don't even want to go on this trip again. But anyways, the thing I just really don't understand is, why is it now every game show has to try to work in a backstory for contestants? And I'm not even necessarily talking about the show. I mean, I understand that it kind of makes for a little bit of more suspense and drama. But even like Wheel of Fortune, right? I mean, I guess they've always kind of like done a little bit of, who's Arya and, what's this about as far as being on the show. But it's just, I don't know, man. It just seems like I kind of think, can we stop it? Do we really need to know everything, or do we need to know really anything about these people to just, other than their name and where they're from and like a brief, like one line about them and then just moving on and saying, thanks and, please and all that kind of stuff. I don't really understand the necessity of like every contestant, like I said, especially on some of the shows like The Wall or, whatever. If it's not a reality show based game show, it's got to be something like, well, here's Ken. Ken's from New Jersey, and he saved, like I said, a kitten out of a burning building. Like, that's wonderful. Ken seems like a great person, but I don't think we need to spend like 5 or 10, what feels like forever talking about it, especially when, it's a game show. I mean, Deal or No Deal did this. It's just like, I understand, trying to make a connection with the contestant, but I think there are probably better ways to do that, I think. Who do I know? I've never been a producer on any of these shows. I'm just saying, I notice it's a trend, and I don't get it, and I don't like it. Especially not for every show. It's just like, you know what? Not everybody needs to be a villain, and not everybody needs to be a hero. Sometimes it's just, especially with game shows, I kind of like them because, I like a show that's kind of a little mindless, kind of about puzzles, kind of about, answering trivia questions without getting into the whole, does it require knowing that, Ken, gave his kidney so that his brother Tom could, I mean, that's a wonderful thing. It's just, it's, I don't know. I don't think I need it. Anyways, I think that's going to do it. This has gone a little bit long on this vlog, but yeah. So until next time, take care.